Hi. Hi. I'm Carter Scott Horton, and welcome to my channel, Quarter Elf. What you're about to see is episode 0 of something that has been like a passion project of mine for months that will become apparent like immediately based off of the quality of the audio and the visual. Obviously, I've moved, I have glasses, I have upgraded my equipment. I've learned more about how to use the equipment that I didn't even upgrade. It felt disingenuous to just come out the gate with stuff like this and sort of try to act out or recreate this session 0 that you're about to see in the creation of the main characters of this solo RPG playthrough. But yeah, I just wanted to pop in and say hi. If you are super nice and you stick around, I promise you the quality of video will get better as the series progresses. The audio quality should be fine from the get-go outside of episode 0. The actual show itself, all the audio is recorded on this wonderful, fantastic microphone that I have right here. So if you like the sultry, dulcet tones of my voice, stick around. I'm improving a fantasy novel. So thank you so much. Again, please like, subscribe, all of the things, ring the bell, and enjoy. Hey, how's it going? Today, we're starting a solo playthrough of an old-school Essentials game by Gavin Norman, which is a basic expert clone of Dungeons and Dragons. On this first episode, we are going to do a session 0. We're going to be making new characters. I will be sharing my basic ideas of what is going to happen. And we're just going to start rolling and see what's what. So, this is set in my own world of Foryll. It has a rich and storied history, and I just realized I didn't roll to see what year it is. I want it to be before a specific event called the Necro Cataclysm. I'm going to roll a D100 and see how many years before that this happens. 91. 91 years before the Necro Cataclysm puts us in the year 10,226. Age of Quay. And since we are rolling for the time, I'm going to go ahead and roll for the month, then the day. It is the first month of the year. It is the month of Fruma. And I'm going to roll for the week, which is called a chamber. It is the 7th chamber, 2nd day. The day is the 38th of Fruma. Who are our characters? First things first, I'm going to roll 3d6 down the line. That's a 9. 12. Ooh. 8. 9. 10 con. 12 charisma. Our first character is fairly intelligent and charismatic. Nothing else of note. I'm going to roll all of the characters' stats, and then I'm going to decide their classes, and then randomize their personalities with some tables and charts, and a system that I have made for Foryll called numerology. Our final character has 16 strength. Thank God. There it is. We got a 5 in con. That hurts. That stings. Character 1's just barely scraping by. As you can see over here, of the 12 available classes, Character 1 has 11 available. Cannot be a ranger. Character 2 has their pick of the litter. And Character 3, unfortunately, though a fantastic strength and dex score, has only 8 possible, missing out on both dwarves, sea dwarves, hobbits, halflings, and rangers. Let's go random all the way down, see what happens. Rolling first for character number 2, who has the most options. we have a thief. Next, I'm going to roll a d10, skipping both the ranger and the thief. A 1! We have a blood mage. Finally, for our third character, our powerhouse, we have an 8, which is a wild man. It's going to be interesting. We have an entirely human cast, for the moment, at least. You know, I was going to name them immediately after deciding what class they were, but I think what might be a better idea is rolling for their core attributes. What's that, Carter? Well, I'll tell you. First things first, I'm going to roll 3 motivations. Essentially, why is this character where they are at the beginning of this story? Where they go from there is going to be a mix of dice rolls and interpretations of those dice, and also just what I think might be interesting. But why is this character, spoilers, on this boat? So I have conveniently come up with 6 options. Let's find out what they want. This is perfect. Our thief is deeply in debt. Our blood mage has been outcast from something and must grow strong before seeking vengeance. And our wild man no longer feels joy except when at the edge of a blade. Now on to their numerology. In Foryll there are 12 astroglyphs made up of 3 greater ideals and 4 lesser ideals. They dictate your fate and your personality, much in the way that astrology does for people here on Earth. In Foryll, there are 4 signs as opposed to, I think you have 12, I want to say, here on Earth. There's like sun, moon, ascendant, and planets. I don't know if Pluto counts or not. Regardless, there are 4 signs for every individual. Your path, your pillar, your tide, and your song signs. Much in the way that most people only care about their sun signs here on Earth, people kind of only care about their path signs. Numerology is another stat that I'm adding to all of these characters. It's another 3d6 roll. At the beginning of every scene, I'm going to make numerology checks for these characters. If they succeed, meaning they roll their numerology or lower, then they act in whatever way or fashion I think is best for their survival. If they fail, meaning they roll above their numerology score on a d20, then I will roll a d4 and decide which of the 4 signs they are acting in accordance with. It might be good for them. Might not. We'll find out. We let the dice decide here at Chimera's Claw. Blood Mage has a numerology of 15, our Thief 14, and our Wild Man 10. For the sake of time in this episode, I'm going to go ahead and roll all of their signs and record them. You'll see them here. I'm not going to explain any of this until it becomes applicable to the story. It might never. You might never need to know that the Wild Man's pillar sign is a nightmare. This might not come up, but if it does, I'll let you know what it means. Every single one of these 12 astroglyphs has a lesser and a greater ideal. The greater ideals go by different names, but essentially are lawful, neutral, and chaotic. They go by different names, but that's not important right now. What is important is that whatever I get the most of, that's what the alignment of this character is going to be. So, the Wild Man has 2 signs that are neutral in his EDP, which is basically like a natal chart. EDP stands for extra diegetic plot. But again, doesn't matter right now. What is important is that because neutrality reigns supreme, has the most, the Wild Man is neutral. Same thing for the Blood Mage and the Thief. The Thief is lawful. We'll figure that one out. See, this is what I love about playing a solo RPG. I never would have thought of a lawful thief. It's a great idea, if you can pull it off. We'll have to think about it for a second. Lastly, before we name our characters, we are going to outfit them. Our Blood Mage has little more than a dagger and a lantern and 3 flasks of oil, and a single mysterious arcane tattoo. Let's go ahead and roll for that now. Blood Mages have access to rituals, blood rituals. They can cast these rituals any amount of times, so long as they have the health for it. The casting of a ritual takes away from the very life essence. It's very dangerous. We are going to roll It's not what I want. But that's what I rolled. That's a bummer. This feels like a good moment to use the Oracle. So, the Oracle is a D12 because it's a fun, funky die that we don't use enough. Since the ritual is called Inner Flame, it is a ritual that, for the cost of 1 hit point, you can reduce the next attack by 2d3 damage. So, you spend 1 HP, and you can prevent at least 2, maybe up to 6 damage. It's quite useful. I feel like it's likely that that tattoo is right there in the center of the chest. I rolled a 5, which is exactly what I needed. So our tattoo is on the chest. Now rolling for our thief. The thief starts with leather, a spear, and a sword. Thieves' tools, and a hammer with 12 iron spikes. He's a handy little guy. We have our wild man. He gets a shield. So the wild man gets a shield. He does not get any armor, though, because he's got thick skin, and his AC is just always as leather. He gets a spear and a sling. Has a large sack. Alright, I'm going to finish filling out these character sheets off screen, and they will be available for perusal down there before I totally lose the light. Let's come up with names. We're gonna roll for the aspect of the name. We have Margaret the Retumer, Borlin the Thief.
A few moments later.
Margaret, Borlin, and Sod? What if his name is Spicious? Like auspicious and suspicious, but just spicious? Nah. Pebble, rock, boulder. Boulder? His name is Egg. Margaret, Borlin, and Egg. Egg? I don't know. Now I'm having second thoughts. Maybe Borlin isn't right. Alright. I said I was going to let the dice decide, and I didn't like what my mind was coming up with. So I just looked at a bunch of lists of names from various different cultures. Shout out to Fantasy Name Generator, just an amazing resource. And I have come up with a final, slightly different version of every character's name. So we have Moirin the Retumer, Quay Bornig, and Smuver, who is my favorite. I hope Smuver makes it. And those are our main characters. If you're curious what Moirin and Quay and Smuvers, God bless him, are going to get up to, you can go ahead and click the episode right up there. What's going to happen? What will they get up to? I don't know. I don't know right now. By the time you're watching, I do know. Thank you so much for checking out my channel. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, especially this early on. It would be huge and mean so much to me to know that people are enjoying this improvised novel that I'm writing and sharing with all of you. I don't know exactly where this is gonna go, but I have a feeling it's gonna be a really cool adventure, and I appreciate you tagging along for the trip. Have a great day. Bye.